Hello everyone and welcome to Hoof Beats. I'm Steve Peak.
And I'm JT Wiskowski. Today we recap the Racers' exciting overtime victory and take you all the way back to Murray State's last home game in this week's Tales of the Tailgate.
This week we also highlight a club sport that demands hard work and plenty of dedication. And later we'll preview Murray State's next game versus Tennessee Tech.
All of that and more on Hoof Beats right now. Flashback to 2003. It's Murray State versus Jacksonville State at Roy Stewart Stadium. In overtime, Steve, did Murray State pull it off?
Yes, actually they did. Fast forward 10 years later, let's see if Murray State can repeat that performance.
To open up the game, for the first points of the game, we got Jordan Benton connecting on a 40-yard field goal to make it 3-0 Racers.
So Murray State already up 3-0. Still in the first quarter, Mikael Miller finds Walter Powell, who takes this in for a 29-yard touchdown reception. Murray State up 10-0, looking for the upset.
Leading 13-10, Dwayne Superman Brady takes it in for a 6-yard scamper to make it 20-10, the Murray State Racers.
And then to be a 14 unanswered run by JSU as they take the lead. It's 24-20. And then Mikael Miller goes 14 yards into the end zone to give Murray State back the lead at 27-24.
And then we're in overtime, and we're looking for maybe the quarterback sneak, which it was, and Mikael Miller sneaks up the middle to make it 33-33 in overtime.
34-33, Murray State down by 1 in overtime, going for 2. Mikael Miller takes the snap, passes over to Jeremy Harness, who's in the end zone for a 2-point conversion, and Murray State shocks Jacksonville State in Jacksonville, Alabama with a 35-34 win. And JTP, let's talk about that last play. First of all, gutsy call by Coach Hatcher.
Yeah, I was really impressed. I figured he'd kick the field goal. That's really what I was expecting, because I didn't feel like he had the confidence maybe in our offensive line to convert on a really close play, but then you said you seen something in the play. I want to hear this.
Yeah, I did. When I was always watching the game, there was a time after the second timeout that Jordan Benton started warming up on the sideline, and so did the long snapper. Now, if you see that play again, let's watch it again, and you'll see that the one of the Murray State wide receivers takes out a defensive back for Jacksonville State, which is a little interesting to me. What I think Chris Hatcher might have been thinking here, and
Yeah, because me and you talked about that, and you were saying if you draw the penalty with dragging the defender down, you just go back a couple yards and kick the field goal and you tie it up.
Extra point. Now, I'm not trying to be a conspiracy theorist or anything here, but I'm saying if that's what he did, genius.
Yeah, because you're in a win-win situation regardless of what you do.
Chris Hatcher has been that guy so far since he's been here that he's been willing to take chances. You saw that when he went for it on 4th and 1 back in the Missouri State game, and it paid off. He goes for it here. There was actually a time when I thought he was going to go for it again on 4th down. So him going for it here didn't surprise me, and I like it. The old saying is you go for the win on the road, and you go for the tie at home. We were on the road. He decided to go for the win. But
it was the second time we've ever beat Jacksonville State. So I think he was maybe riding emotions a little bit too.
Yeah, a little bit. But like I said, maybe a little skepticism there. But I think the reason you wouldn't even be in that situation, JT, if the defense could have got off the field there at the end of the fourth quarter with Murray State leading by 3.
Steve, why do you always have to down the defense? They had 4 turnovers. 4 turnovers. Turnovers win games. Come on.
Hey, credit. There was a big turnover by Coy Huzzy right when you thought Jacksonville State was going to get more points on the board.
I'm going to be honest with you. I was a little worried right there because they were driving, and then just out of nowhere, Quad gets it. He went like 20 yards down the field.
It was a big play. But that's what they made up for a lot of mistakes. But that we shouldn't be relying on the other team to make mistakes for us to get off the field. But we can't get off the field.
Here's something to benefit your argument. Total offense, Murray State, 405. Total offense, Jacksonville State, 652.
652 total yards for Jacksonville State, and we managed to win the game. Again, we're playing the same way we had.
But here's my counter argument. You can drive from the 1 to the 1. But if you turn it over on the other one, what does it matter?
Well, if that's how we're going to rely on our defense, bend but don't break. Oh, let them in the red zone and please get an interception or a fumble. I'm not too confident playing these better teams. Playing against EIU, EKU. I mean, if you go up against Jimmy Garoppolo, he's not going to give you gifts. He's not going to give you interceptions in the red zone.
Okay,
You're gonna have to
I
make
understand.
stops.
EIU is its own kind of monster. I mean, Eric Laura and Garoppolo have been tearing it up. Garoppolo has like 21 touchdowns, over 2,000 yards right now in this season. That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
But here's my fact on this. Who have the Murray State Racers played? Missouri State, Campbellsville, Bowling Green.
We played some teams like Missouri State and Bowling.
But here's the thing.
I didn't look at Missouri.
People are looking at this and thinking, well, Murray State's not that good because they put up all these points. We've been playing FBS schools.
I get that.
When we play teams of our caliber, our defense has put up and shut up.
I totally disagree. I think Jacksonville State ran the ball all over us. Missouri State, our defense has trouble getting up the field on third down.
We are +5. We are +5 in turnover margin.
And that's great. That's great.
That wins games.
As long as we keep getting the gifts of other teams making mistakes and giving us the ball back, that's great. But 50% of the time, the opponent is converting on third downs against Murray State. We can't get off the field. Those are big plays. Third down and 3, third down and short, third down and long even. They're converting.
Yeah, I still think 4 turnovers. What wins the game for you?
Well, let's hope that keeps happening.
Well, I mean, Garoppolo is pass happy, and we run the 3-4 defense, and that's for the pass.
Speaking of somebody else who's a passer, Mikael Miller.
Yeah, I really impressed with him so far. He's second in just about every OVC stat in passing, and it's really impressive. He's got about 900 yards, about 10 touchdowns. What are your thoughts on him?
I mean, he's just been fantastic. He's been exactly what the Murray State Racers have needed. He's been the guy. Now, we haven't been able to win these games in the past, and Mikael Miller might be the reason that we're starting to win these games.
I said it last episode, and I said the Missouri State game was going to be the game where you seen if Mikael Miller's Mr. OVC. He got OVC Newcomer of the Week this past week, and he's really starting to show that he is the answer at quarterback.
Yep, and again, like I said, we're starting to win these games. Murray State last season and the season before, they would lose these close games. You remember EIU last season, EKU the season before?
Our defense didn't get turnovers last year either, though.
Maybe that's it.
Turnovers is winning games.
The defense giving up 38
+5 in
points.
turnover margin. You can't deny that. There's no way.
That's great. I hope they keep doing it.
All right.
Prove me wrong.
All right, Steve. Well, we got to get out of this segment.
All right,
When we come back, we will turn into Mark Riggins, the Cincinnati Reds head coach, and see why he was around here lately.
All right, stay tuned. The Stables Indoor Athletic Facility offers year-round training for baseball, softball, and soccer, which is nice if you want to train just as hard during the off-season. But what makes it even sweeter? How about a lesson from the Cincinnati Reds minor league pitching coordinator and Murray State alum Mark Riggins? Let's check out the day of fun activities in youth sports. Mark Riggins has come a long way since his days as a thoroughbred in the 70s. From playing in the minor league to being a part of the coaching staff for several storied franchises including the Cardinals, the Cubs, and now the Cincinnati Reds. But Mark knows it all starts with youth sports and is excited to be a part of the opening of this facility.
Well, I live here in Murray, and I'm over here at the stables, opening up the stables here. The Browns have opened this place here in Murray, one of the first places in Murray to open up as a hitting and conditioning and pitching place. So I'm in here having a clinic today with a few kids and try to break it open here. We're going to talk about what I do, talk about pitching deliveries, mechanics of throwing, and just talk to the kids about the wintertime is a great time to work out. This facility's here, and it's a great time for those kids to come in and get the parents involved to work out in the wintertime and get themselves better for whatever level that they're playing for next year. I love working with young kids. I think I have a lot of information I can share with kids, and I like to help out all I can in the community and try to give the baseball programs a little shot in the arm to see kids get better and better, and hopefully maybe move on to college or even professionally. It's a tough game, and hopefully some of these guys can really be good high school players, and hopefully possibly move on to college if they like to. It's exciting to see the excitement for the kids coming out here. It's a Sunday here, and the kids are coming out, and they're loosening up and they're ready to go, and so we're going to get started here in a bit.
We then talked to Leanne Brown, co-owner of the stables, to find out a little more about the facility and what events are held there.
In the summer, we've had baseball camps, we've had softball camps, we've had soccer camps. We've got Lamar Hall. He's an assistant grad there at Murray State. He is coming in and doing speed and agility, strength and conditioning training for us right now for our middle school and our high school kids that come out. This building became available, and we talked to the owner, told him what we wanted to do and what we wanted to try and get here in Murray, because there's not anything like this in Murray. And so we opened up in March of this year, and we are doing it for baseball, softball, and soccer. We will have the availability to do it for golf, or people that want to come out and hit golf balls, they can come out and hit golf balls this winter as well. We want to see athletes get better in what they do. We're hoping to provide this service and provide this facility so they can get better and make Murray better as a whole.
Youth sports has obviously been a positive influence on young athletes for many years, and to have a professional show you the ropes can be even more impressionable.
Golf is one of the only sports where the lower score, the better. On this week's Racer Profile, we get to know the person who shot the lowest score of any woman in the history of Murray State golf. Meet Delaney Howson.
When I golf, I'm really just trying to enjoy being able to play something that I love and going out there and having fun. I've definitely relaxed a lot on the course this year, and it's helped out my game. I'm Delaney Howson, and this is my Racer Profile. I'm from Newmarket, Ontario, Canada. My favorite thing about my hometown is definitely just being around all my friends and being really close to my family. I got into golf because of my brothers, and my mom wanted me to stop playing contact sports. At the Drake Creek Invitational, the event's set up. It's a 36-hole day on Monday and then 18-hole day on Tuesday. So in the second round of the 36-hole day, I shot 67, which is the lowest round a women's golfer has shot at Murray State. It was definitely a really good feeling, and I guess it was interesting because I was really calm, and most of the time when you're like shooting really low, if you're not used to it, you can get pretty excited, but I felt pretty calm about my round, which is like a good feeling. I wasn't thinking about any record like when I was playing really well. I definitely knew what I was at going into the 18th hole, and I was a little bit nervous. It kind of showed with how I played the 18th hole. I didn't play it very well, but I still managed to shoot obviously a really good score. And at that point, I just really wanted to be done with the 36-hole day. It's a long day. I felt really relaxed, and I guess you could say I was in the zone, but I just really wasn't thinking about it. So it was an enjoyable round. It wasn't too tough to play that day. It's definitely motivation to know that I doubled the last hole to shoot 67. It's been nice this year because I've been making a lot more putts, which means I've been making a lot more birdies. I'm just excited to see how much lower I can go and see if I can break the record again.
Hello and welcome back to Hoof Beats. Next opponent up for Murray State is the Golden Eagles of Tennessee Tech. Of course, last season they weren't much of a problem. Murray State, I think, handed them a 70-35
burger
shellacking. Thoughts this year, JT? What are some key matchups we need to be looking for?
Steve, one matchup that really intrigues me is they have a redshirt freshman at left tackle, and that's protecting the blind side. And Matt Martin versus our 3-4 pass defense, it's gonna be interesting. And the reason I say that, our rover Travis Taylor, regardless if he goes out on the slot receiver or comes in for the pass rush, I'm really not sure how well Matt Martin's going to hold up against any of our pass rushers. And another thing is Darian Stone, their quarterback, he's a run-first quarterback. And we haven't seen a quarterback like him yet besides Jamal Franklin, rather. But Jamal Franklin, I mean, that was just a money game like we've always stated. And I'm really worried about their quarterback play.
Yeah, you're right the first time, James Franklin. But
James Franklin? Okay. I couldn't remember.
You were talking about Darian Stone. He's the starter right now. As far as we know,
yeah, because we've seen he threw the game-winning touchdown last week against
Jared Davis. Jared Davis threw the game-winning touchdown
against Indiana State.
And he's the freshman quarterback. So you got Jared Davis who's throwing the game-winning touchdown passes, which makes me think, should Murray State be preparing for Jared Davis or should they be preparing for Darian Stone? Are they going to throw both in there?
This could throw us for a loop because a dual quarterback system, it's hard to game plan for. And that's the thing. There's a turnover battle that's going to be coming up. Murray State has 12, Tennessee Tech has 10.
Yeah.
And it's been turnovers for us, which has saved 2 games for us, Missouri State and Jacksonville State. And I think this game's going to come down to turnovers.
Yeah, and it might. We just talked about that earlier in the show.
Yeah.
But we'll go back to TTU's last game. That was against Indiana State. And we had an exciting win. They had an exciting win as well. As we talked about Jared Davis throwing that game-winning touchdown pass with 90 seconds left to play in the game. But we look at some of the things that they struggled with. They're like Murray State. They score a lot of points, but their total yards isn't really that high. They had 264 total yards of offense.
But like I've been stating, the turnover game, you can turn over the ball and get a short field. And you ain't gonna possess the ball as well.
Exactly. And that's what happens, right?
But yeah, that's the thing. Like when we play EIU, that's what I'm worried about. We've got to keep Garoppolo off the field.
Yeah, and hopefully we'll keep Tennessee Tech off the field because I think this is a very winnable game for Murray State.
Oh, there's no doubt it's a winnable game.
At home, coming off a big win, you hope there's not that letdown off of a big win like it was against Jacksonville State, an emotional win. You hope there's not a letdown in the team. But as I see it, and as I always say, they can't look past this game. But as fans, we can, and we've been talking about EIU, and every game leading up to that, I believe, is a winnable game.
Oh, yeah, of course. I really think going into the EIU game, we're going to be how many games we got to? Is it going to be 6-2 or 7-2? I can't remember exactly. It's one of the two numbers.
7-2, yes.
Is it 7-2?
Yes.
And that's like we've stated. The bids. We're going to have to play for an at-large bid.
It looks that way. EIU looks pretty tough. But focusing on Tennessee Tech, what are your predictions going into Saturday's game?
I think Walter Powell is going to steal the show again. I really do. I do not think their kickoff coverage or their punting coverage is ready for what Walter Powell brings to the table. And the 2 corners, they seem to have a corner that plays the wide side of the field and a corner that plays the short side of the field. And if they're not going to match up the best corner against Walter Powell, it's going to be a long day for him. And I really think we're going to win 54-21.
Wow, 54-21. So we just keep on beating down Tennessee Tech. I feel bad for them.
Hey, 51 burger.
There you go. Now, Walter Powell, after having a 5-touchdown game against Missouri State, has only scored 1 touchdown in the last 2 games. Of course, Bowling Green is a tough team.
Bowling Green's a different monster. FBS.
Yes, absolutely.
I feel like we were riding high against Missouri, so you can give him the Bowling Green.
And then Jacksonville State, they kind of kept him in check a little bit.
He had a touchdown.
He did have a touchdown.
They're kicking away from him.
They're not letting him return punts.
Yep.
It's got to be frustrating for Walter Powell.
Of course.
But I agree. I think this is a game where Walter Powell gets back and is scoring touchdowns again, and Murray State wins. Now, I know we had this discussion, but I'm giving Tennessee Tech a little bit more points. Because I still, even with
turnover, Steve, we've argued about this all show.
Do it again. Do it one more time. Do it one more time, Murray State defense, and I will believe this guy. Just do it one more time.
+5 on the season.
Just do it one more time. But
come on.
I'm taking Murray State. I'm still taking Murray State. They're going to outscore them again. We got to outscore our opponents, and we're going to do it again. 49-35. Murray State wins, and we continue undefeated so far in the
You're not going to give our offense the 50 burger?
49. We're going for 49. That's so close.
Sell out.
We'll go for 2 on the last touchdown. We'll get to 50. How about that?
What?
It'd be weird, but maybe we'll do it.
Okay, just
all right. All right. That's all the time we got this week for Hoof Beats. See you next week, and hopefully see you out there at Roy Stewart Stadium, 3 o'clock against Tennessee Tech. Thanks for watching.